What happened? On December 14, 2012, the world witnessed the second deadliest school shooting in the United States history. The events of that day were horrific, heartbreaking, and unforgettable. And, thanks to sensationalist media, those horrific, heartbreaking, and unforgettable moments are all captured in the face of a killer that would usually go here, and a name that would usually go here. Despite what most large forms of media portray, this man does not deserve this sort of celebrity recognition. His actions deserve to be pushed out to obscurity and discounted as completely valueless. However, our current world is one in which evil is highlighted and prominently displayed for all to see. This means that in a very real way, the villain becomes the hero. After all, any writer will tell you, a protagonist is a protagonist, regardless of his perceived lack of morality or their objective. This confusion can easily be adopted by a disturbed, lonely, young individual who finds hope in the evil thought that maybe I can finally be important. It's a natural human drive to matter, to contribute, and be appreciated for it. But our society distorts importance so heavily that it's easy to see how a person of unsound heart and mind could accumulate enough pieces of information about this world to believe that self-importance is essential enough to kill and die for. This societal viewpoint is the reason you recognize names like Dylan Klebold or Eric Harris, but aren't familiar with names like Nick Foss or Daniel Rohrbaugh or Dave Sanders. It's the reason you recognize this face, but none of these. It's the reason you know the name, face, and even age of this man from Newtown, Connecticut, without me ever displaying it for you. But you don't know this woman. Victoria Soto was an elementary school teacher, and one of 6 adults killed in the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. At just 27 years old, Miss Soto was well liked by her students, and described as very nice, funny, and a little bit of a rebel, as she often chewed gum in class, despite school rules. On the morning of December 14th in Newtown, Connecticut, gunshots echoed through the hallways of Sandy Hook Elementary. The school's principal, Don Hochsprung, and the school psychologist, Mary Sherlock, immediately left the meeting they were having to go confront the threat. While attempting to stop the shooter, both Hochsprung and Sherlock were executed in the very same hallways where they dedicated their lives to bettering the lives of the children placed in their care. As the ring of gunshots in the hallway interrupted the activities of the classroom, Victoria Soto sprang into action. She quickly took her 16 angels, as she liked to call them, under her wing and ushered them into the classroom closet, where she told them to stay and remain quiet. When the gunman entered the classroom, Miss Soto bravely faced him, possibly with a mouthful of chewing gum, and told him that her students were in the gym, at which time the killer, who will remain nameless, pointed his gun at the little angel's fearless guardian and brought her life to an end. Then, believing the classroom to be completely void of life, turned the gun on himself and committed suicide. Victoria Soto's plan in protecting her students had succeeded. Her vital signs quickly faded, but thanks to her bravery and the sacrifice of her rebel heart, there were still 16 little beating hearts hiding in the closet. Why do I tell you this story and paint a picture of this woman while omitting any facts about her killer? Because this man does not represent humanity. This man's behavior was an aberration of human existence. He needed help, but there is no need for this world to give him recognition or put him at the center of any story. What our world needs is a face like this, with a name like Victoria Soto. So when you tell the story, don't speak of a man who took life. Speak of the woman who gave hers. When you post to Facebook, don't rant about gun laws or vengeance. Rant about love. Write about the love that laid down its life so that sickness in one man's heart could not infect her little angels. The media force feeds us images of evil, despair, and fear. But in this technological day and age, we are lucky enough to be able to be our own media, and we can feed ourselves images of faith, hope, and love. Get online, Google Victoria Soto, blog about her, tweet about her, Instagram her face. There are good, influential people with their fingers on that pulse. With enough willpower and intent, we have the ability to change this world. Don't spread this man's image. Spread this woman's story, so that the seeds of her death and sacrifice can spring forth new life in a new world that we can constantly create together. Thank you.